The Chinese Lily. Mo Mei lived in an upstairs room of a Chinatown dwelling house. There were other little Chinese women living on the same floor, but Mo Mei never went amongst them. She was not as they were. She was a cripple. A fall had twisted her legs so that she moved around with difficulty and scarred her face so terribly that none save Lian Zhan cared to look upon it. Lian Zhan, her brother, was a laundryman working for another of his countrymen. Lian Zhan and Mo Mei had come to San Francisco with their parents when they were small children. Their mother had died the day she entered the foreign city, and the father the week following, both having contracted a fever on the steamer. Mo Mei and Lian Zhan were then taken in charge by their father's brother, and although he was a poor man, he did his best for them until called away by death. Long before her uncle died, Mo Mei had met with the accident that had made her not as other girls, but that had only strengthened her brother's affection. And old Lian Yuan died happy in the knowledge that Lian Zhan would ever put Mo Mei before himself. So, Mo Mei lived in her little upstairs room, cared for by Lian Zhan, and scarcely an evening passed that he did not call to see her. One evening, however, Lian Zhan failed to appear, and Mo Mei began to feel very sad and lonely. Mo Mei could embroider all day in contented silence if she knew that in the evening someone would come to whom she could communicate all the thoughts that filled a small black head that knew nothing of life save what it saw from an upstairs window. Mo Mei's window looked down upon the street, and she would sit for hours, pressed close against it, watching those who passed below and all that took place. That day she had seen many things which she had put into her mental portfolio for Lian Zhan's edification when evening should come. 2 yellow-robed priests had passed below on their way to the Joss house in the next street. A little bird with a white breast had fluttered against the window pane. A man carrying an image of a gambling cash tiger had entered the house across the street, and 6 young girls of about her own age, dressed gaily as if to attend a wedding, had also passed over the same threshold. But when 9 o'clock came and no Lian Zhan, the girl began to cry softly. She did not often shed tears, but for some reason unknown to Mo Mei herself, the sight of those joyous girls caused sad reflections. In the midst of her weeping, a timid knock was heard. It was not Lian Zhan. He always gave a loud rap, then entered without waiting to be bidden. Mo Mei hobbled to the door, pulled it open, and there, in the dim light of the hall without, beheld a young girl, the most beautiful young girl that Mo Mei had ever seen, and she stood there extending to Mo Mei a blossom from a Chinese lily plant. Mo Mei understood the meaning of the offered flower, and accepting it, beckoned for her visitor to follow her into her room. What a delightful hour that was to Mo Mei! She forgot that she was scarred and crippled, and she and the young girl chattered out their little hearts to one another. Lian Zhan is dear, but one can't talk to a man, even if he is a brother, as one can to one the same as oneself, said Mo Mei to Shui Xinhua, her new friend, and Shui Xinhua, the meaning of whose name was pure flower, or Chinese lily, answered, "Yes, indeed, the woman must be the friend of the woman, and the man the friend of the man. Is it not so in the country that heaven loves?" "What beneficent spirit moved you to come to my door?" asked Mo Mei. "I know not," replied Shui Xinhua, "save that I was lonely. We have but lately moved here, my sister's husband, and myself. My sister is a bride, and there is much to say between her and her husband. Therefore, in the evening, when the day's duties are done, I am alone. Several times hearing that you were sick, I ventured to your door, but failed to knock, because always when I drew near, I heard the voice of him whom they call your brother. Tonight, as I returned from an errand for my sister, I heard only the sound of weeping, so I hastened to my room and plucked the lily for you." The next evening, when Lian Zhan explained how he had been obliged to work the evening before, Mo Mei answered brightly that that was all right. She loved him just as much as ever, and was just as glad to see him as ever, but if work prevented him from calling, he was not to worry. She had found a friend who would cheer her loneliness. Lianzhan was surprised, but glad to hear such news, and it came to pass that when he beheld Shui Xianhua, her sweet and gentle face, her pretty drooped eyelids and arched eyebrows, he began to think of apples and peach and plum trees showering their dainty blossoms in the country that heaven loves. It was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Lianzhan, working in his laundry, paid little attention to the street uproar and the clang of the engines rushing by. He had no thought of what it meant to him and would have continued at his work undisturbed had not a boy put his head into the door and shouted, "Lianzhan, the house in which your sister lives is on fire!" The tall building was in flames when Lianzhan reached it. The uprising tongues licked his face as he sprung up the ladder no other man dared ascend. "I will not go. It is best for me to die." And Mo Mei resisted her friend with all her puny strength. "The ladder would not bear the weight of both of us. You are his sister," calmly replied Shui Xianhua. "But he loves you best. You and he can be happy together. I am not fit to live." "May Lianzhan decide, Mo Mei?" "Yes, Lianzhan may decide." Lianzhan reached the casement. For one awful second he wavered. Then his eyes sought the eyes of his sister's friend. "Come, Mo Mei," he called. "Where is Shui Xianhua?" asked Mo Mei when she became conscious. "Shui Xianhua is in the land of happy spirits, and I am still in this sad, dark world. Speak not so, little one. Your brother loves you and will protect you from the darkness. But you love Shui Xianhua better, and she loved you." Lianzhan bowed his head. "Alas," wept Mo Mei, "that I should live to make others sad." "Nay," said Lianzhan, "Shui Xianhua is happy, and I did my duty with her approval. At her bidding. How then, little sister, can I be sad?" No, narrator here. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so we got more dead Chinese girls here, you know? Like, how many dead Chinese girls are littered all over this place? Because it seems like there are a lot of dead Chinese girls. Where are the dead Chinese men? We only got one dead Chinese man. How many dead Chinese girls we got? Actually, it depends. Whatever. But yeah, sad that, she lost her only friend. But like, at least she got the friend, right? That's a consolation, like a silver lining. But like, okay, imagine if the brother didn't choose the sister, right? That shit would not have worked out. Their relationship would not have worked out. Because like he would see her and be like, "Wow, I sacrificed my sister for you," and then she would see him and be like, "Wow, he sacrificed his sister for me to be here." And there's too much pressure on both sides, and I don't think it would have worked anyways. And so I think he made the right decision here. Because there we go on both sides. So yeah, I think it was the right decision. And honestly, like, she, yeah, I think she needs more happiness in her life. The burn girl, I think she has more happiness in store for her. I think the brother kind of knew that too. Anyways, bye.